welcome to another episode of Build the RedBull RB7. Today I bring you issue 30. We'll be applying the main chassis to our RedBull RB7. In the magazine today, we've got the technology of the 80s, a bit of chassis design and electronics, turbo C's power, Kevlar and carbon. We've got the Rosenheim RC circuit in southern Germany. Okay, a bit here on the track. And our parts that we got in today's issue. These parts, however, aren't the parts we're putting on our car today. We'll be applying our main chassis, our barge board stays, 3 2x6 screws, 4 3x8 screws, and 2 3x10 screws to our front chassis of our RedBull RB7. So for now, either leave it sealed up, okay, or place your parts from issue 30 today away into a container until next week when they are required. So to start off our build, we're going to grab our main chassis and we're going to flip it upside down. Okay, we're going to grab our 2 barge stays, okay, and place them like such. Okay, now grab your small Phillips head screwdriver and one of the 2x6mm screws. Place it through the chassis and into the barge stay. Now repeat the process for the other side. Okay, now flip your chassis right way up, ensuring that the plastic clips coming off the barge stays line up with the holes in the main chassis below. Okay, now push your other screws aside for now and grab the front chassis of your RedBull RB7. Now flip both back over. Okay, now we want to line up our corresponding holes here with the holes that are in our main chassis, okay? Being the 2 side ones here go in with the barge stays here. Now flip it over and place it on as such. So the easiest way to do it, grab your 2x6mm screw and screw it down into the central screw hole at the front of your main chassis. Then place your 2 3x10mm screws, okay, into the screw holes that intercept the barge stays. Finally place the last 3x8mm screws into the remaining 4 holes in our main chassis floor. Now once completed, go along and tighten up all of the screws to ensure they're flush with the main chassis. Okay, now flip the car back over and then just assess that it sits flush, that the wires aren't caught under there, okay, and everything sits nice and smooth. Okay guys, so that's this week's episode of Build the RedBull RB7, where we applied the main chassis to the front of our car. Just quickly a look into next week. You can see here on my second RB7 I've attached my side chassis to my main chassis, okay, using directions from the model space forum. I've got my 2 screws in there and the 3rd screw to hold on my fuel tank post. Okay, if you guys have already gone ahead and done this, just make sure you put your fuel tank post on first, because once the chassis is attached to the main chassis, it's impossible to get your screwdriver under there. Also, I recommend sitting it on some spare tyres or something you have laying around the house to keep the car elevated, to stop any scuffing, okay, if you're on a hard surface like me, just to protect the final finishes of this aerodynamic part here of the side chassis. And I'll look into next week's issue. We got the right side chassis, the right fuel tank post, the screws and the 2 nuts, okay. This week's issue didn't have 2 nuts because on the other side the 2 screws come in a bit further and the nuts go on and seal them off. I'll be uploading a October update for you guys where I'll be talking about just general stuff, how the model's been going, some stuff that I've discovered not only on the forum but after analysing our exploded poster here quite closely, some stuff that I have discovered. Okay, and yeah, so tune in for that. I hope you all enjoyed this video and I will see you guys shortly. Into the most, and screw it down into the far left, the top hole, and screw it into the most, screw it into that hole, and screw it into the first central, screw it there. No, I don't. Screw it. Just screw it. Stuff it. Forget it. And into the central screw hole. Oh, I almost had it. Screw it down into the central screw hole at the front of your main chassis.